इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे मार्केट का इंडिसिजन जो रिफ्लेक्ट होता है डोजी पैटर्न से। ये वीडियो मैंने मेरे प्रीवियस बूट कैंप से बोरो किया है, जहाँ पे हम 8 हफ्ते की जर्नी में 90 घंटे की पढ़ाई करते हैं। उसमें से 1 घंटे का वीडियो मैंने आपके लिए प्रेजेंट किया है। So we'll first go to the first pattern. Right. So Doji's characteristic is open should be equal to close. Right. Or open should be equivalent to close. This is a doji pattern. So if the price is opening at 100, it should close at 100. Or else if the price is opening at 100, it can close at 101 or 99. Right. But this is a wrong example because this is a 1% move. So it should open at 100 and should close at 100, or it should open at 100 or close at 99.7 or 100.3, in between this range, right? So the body will always be small, right? Your open is equal to close. This is a doji pattern. Is everybody clear?
Yes.
So in doji, you have 3 types. So there are 3 types of dojis. First is gravestone doji. Second is dragonfly doji. Third is hanging man or a hammer, right? Based on where they are getting plotted, the name changes, right? But they are of the same type. So there are 3 types of dojis. We'll go into why dojis get formed. Right? This is the psychology part of it, right? Whenever, so if the price is opening and closing at the same price, that means if I am a buyer, there is somebody who is selling. So if this is a buyer, and that means at the same price somebody is selling. At this place, whatever quantity the buyers want to buy at the same price. So if the transaction is happening at 100 rupees and there are 1000 quantities that are getting traded, right? At the same price, at 100 rupees, there are equivalent buyers and equivalent sellers, right? So that the 1000 quantity is getting traded at 100 rupees, right? Doji gets formed when the quantities are getting matched. The number of sellers in the market is equal to number of buyers in the market at the same price, right? So number of buyers is equal to number of sellers at same price, right? This is a very important condition. This condition is very important. The number of buyers and sellers are equal at a same price. So now the 3 types, the first type, right? This is a normal doji. Opening is equal to closing, right? This is normal doji, right? Only thing is this pattern, the opening and closing, somewhere happens in the center of high and low. This is kind of equidistance, right? So open to high is equal to close to low, right? This part is kind of equidistance. ठीक है? प्राइस ओपन से हाई जितना जा रहा है उतना ही ओपन से लो भी आ रहा है और बीच में कहीं पे जाके क्लोज कर रहे हैं, राइट. This pattern is known as perfect doji. So this is perfect doji pattern. Whenever this happens, this shows clear sign of indecision. So this is a very clear sign. Because open is equal to close and the distance is equidistance. ऊपर भी जितना जा रहा है उतना ही नीचे आ रहा है. So it's a perfect fight between the bulls and bears. So there is a fight and you don't know who is winning. So it's a perfect indecision. It's a clear sign of indecision, right? Whenever there is a perfect doji getting formed, right? This candle shows perfect indecision in the market. This is the first type. The second type, one is gravestone, second is dragonfly. Right. The difference here is in gravestone doji, right? Right. So it is derived from the term called stone, and this is a type of stone, right? And it's a very heavy stone, right? And this stone you'll find it on Saturn planet, right? It's a very heavy stone. So whenever you throw this stone, it comes down so fast, right? It's very heavy, right? So the pattern formed is like this. Price gets opened, gets closed at the same price, but the high is made, low is not made, but it closes at the same price, right? There might be a small low, right? So the fight is happening at a lower level, right? In perfect doji, fight was happening at the center. Here the fight is happening at the low, right? So if you see who will push the who will push the price up?
Buyers.
Buyers will push. So buyers are trying to push the price up. So there are so many sellers that they're pushing the price down, right? So this is the condition where sellers are more than buyers, right? But not significantly higher. So not significantly higher, right? If there are 1000 sellers, there might be 900 buyers, right? So the price is not coming. So there is no significantly high selling, right? But the equation here changed. The sellers are significantly, they're slightly higher, right? Who are selling at this point to push the price lower. This is gravestone doji. Dragonfly doji is opposite, right? It will form like this. Sellers are trying to push the price down. Buyers are trying to push the price higher, right? So this kind of dojis are formed based on first half and second half of the market. In the first half, in this case, in the gravestone doji, in the first half, buyers are more. In the second half, sellers get activated and they are higher. This is something that happened on Friday in Nifty, right? In the first half, buyers were very aggressive. So if you see till the first half, till 1 p.m., the chart formed was something like this. At the closing, it became like this because at this price, sellers were activated and they pushed the price lower. And again, the 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 last pattern, the last candlestick pattern formed on Nifty chart was a doji, right? But now this pattern will come to this pattern, but this is a very strong bullish pattern, right? We'll get to this pattern. This is our next topic. So whenever we come there, we'll discuss. Right. So doji patterns are a reflection of buyers and sellers at different time period. Right. This is the place where you can bifurcate that in the first half, buyers were heavy, in the second half, sellers were active, right? And vice versa. We don't know whether the index or a stock has first made a high or first made a low, depending on it, right? So if you see on Nifty on Friday, it opened, made a low first. It made a thoda sa high, then made a low, then started making a high, and then came and closed here, right? And formed a doji, right? It depends on at what time period you are checking. So if you see in the first half, when it came here, this low was made at 10:30, and from 10:30 it started going up. It went up till 1:15. 1:15, 1:30 was the time, and then started retracing back. And at 3:30 it closed somewhere near the opening price. Right. So this is what you have to understand from the doji. We never know whether high was made first or low was made first. Right. You'll get to know after the chart is completed. Right. Dragonfly. So now gravestone and dragonfly. In a way, in dragonfly, now buyers are significantly higher than sellers. I mean, not significantly. Minor bulls are more, right? So now the third type. Third type is hammer or hanging man. Right. Has everybody seen a hammer? Right. Hammer is something like this. Right. This is the open price. This is the closing price. Or it can be vice versa. It can be open or close like this, or close or open. Right. If open and close is like this, you might get a green candle. And if open and close is like this, you will get a red candle. Right. So it is immaterial for us whether this is red or green. Right. We only have to see the body here has to be small and the wick has to be big. ठीक है. आपका जो बॉडी है वो बहुत छोटा होना चाहिए और विक है वो बड़ा होना चाहिए. Generally, the perfect hammer is your wick should be 3 times. So wick has to be 3 times of your body. So if this is wick, then your body is X. So if your body is X, your wick has to be 3X. Right? This has to be 3X, and if this is X. So the psychology here that is getting played out, price is getting open here, sellers are pushing it. right? So in the first half, sellers are active, and in the second half, buyers are active because they are pushing the price up so that they can close it somewhere here or here, whatever it is, right? So hammer get formed when sellers are active in the first half and buyers are active in the second half, right? Hanging man is opposite to it. The wick, again the pattern is same, but now you are hanging a man, right? तो हमने किसी को उल्टा लटकाया इधर. So again, going through the same psychology of first half, second half, right? In the first half, if this is the opening price and this is the closing price, in the first half, if I want to push the price higher, right? So in the first half, who will be active? Buyers. In the second half, sellers are active. तो सेकेंड हाफ में ये केस में बायर्स एक्टिव है और ये केस में सेलर्स एक्टिव है. So now I'll write down all the patterns, right? And we'll combine this with the market psychology. Our time frame for this is daily, right? This you also start writing this same format, right? So the first is perfect doji, right? So in perfect doji, so this is your cheat sheet, right? So in perfect doji, what is your equation? Buyers are equal to sellers, right? तो फर्स्ट हाफ में कौन ज्यादा एक्टिव होगा, बायर या सेलर?
दोनों इक्वल जोर लगा रहे हैं, कोई भी हो सकता है,
दोनों इक्वल जोर लगा रहे हैं, ठीक है. सो वी डोंट नो. सो बायर एंड सेलर कैन बी एक्टिव, वी डोंट नो. सेकेंड, तो ग्रेवस्टोन डोजी में व्हाट इज द इक्वेशन?
Seller higher than buyer.
sellers dominate, yeah.
Sellers are dominating buyers. Right. Gravestone is something like this. So who is active in the first half?
Buyers.
Second half? Sellers. Third is dragonfly. What will be the equation?
Buyers greater than sellers.
Buyers greater than sellers, right? So in the first half, who will be more active?
Sellers.
Second half, buyers. Fourth is hammer. Yeah. What's the equation here?
Buyers greater than sellers.
Buyers greater than sellers. So what will be the equation?
First half sellers
First half, sellers. Second half,
Buyers.
buyers. Fifth, hanging man. What will be the equation?
Sellers greater than buyers.
Sellers greater than buyers. Right. So who will be active?
Buyers in the morning, first half, and sellers in the second half.
Yeah.
What is a long-leg doji then? Would that be also one of the types?
Sorry, I didn't get you. I didn't get your
What is the long-leg doji then?
long leg. So every doji, if it is getting formed, the wick has to be 3 times of your body. Right. So long wick dojis are gravestone doji and dragonfly doji, hammer and hanging man. All these are long wick dojis. Right. They should get formed where wick is 3 times, at least 3 times of your body.
Okay.
Right. This is not a rule of the thumb that it should be 3 times, right? But from my observation of the market, I've made a rule that it should be 3 times.
Okay, got it.
Right. It can be 2 times, 2.5 times. So don't get exactly into the concept, but visually you should identify that at least it should be bigger. Wick has to be bigger than the body.
Okay.
सर ड्रैगन फ्लाई और हैमर में बस केवल ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग प्राइसेस का डिफरेंस रहेगा, बाकी लगभग सेम ही रहेगा.
बाकी सेम है. ड्रैगन फ्लाई और हैमर कॉन्सेप्चुअली सेम है. हमारा लास्ट का इन्फ्रेंस भी सेम है. सिर्फ ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग में क्योंकि उसमें बॉडी आ गई इसलिए नाम बदल गया. बट आपके लिए वो लॉजिक सेम ही है. पूरा ट्रेड करने का भी लॉजिक सेम है. व्हेन डू यू फाइट?
When there's a difference in perception and value.
When we want something and the other wants the same at the same time.
Exactly. Right. When both the parties want a share, that's the place we fight. Right.
Yes.
Because both of buyers and sellers want their share of entering the market. Right. So this is the place the fight will happen. Right. So if the fight is happening, either it is happening at a place where they want to accumulate or they want to distribute. Right. Because this is a single pattern. This is only a candlestick. Right. So we are not analyzing it. Right. Because single candle, we cannot take decisions based on single candle. Right. It should have a context to it. So just to give a context, the fight will happen either I want to accumulate more or I want to distribute more. Right. And I want to overpower in whatever the case be. Right. So it should always get formed at the low of the chart or at the high of the chart. Right. So now if you combine 2 concepts, one W pattern and M pattern. So let's say if a price is coming down and this is the place where W is getting formed. This is the place if you see a doji and a bullish candle, right? Can you assume that it will form a W now? Right. So doji should form either at W or at M or at this place where price has gone significantly up and the M pattern is getting formed and this stops. This is the place where it should form a doji. Right? Because this is a place of indecision. Right? Where sellers want to push the price lower, buyers want to take the price higher. But this is a single pattern. Right? So we are understanding this because we will be trading only point and figure and Renko. We will be trading only point and figure and Renko. But if a doji is getting formed at a W or M, that will give you additional confirmation. Right. So whenever I see a W or M, and if it is with the formation of a doji, if W and M is getting formed, in futures, I'll enter with 2 lots. If there is a doji also getting formed, my lot size increases to 4 lots. And I have few more confirmation patterns. If those confirmation patterns also start confirming, I'll add one more lot. So for every confirmation, I add one lot. Right. So this is my method of trading. Right. I'll not miss the trade. I'll enter. Right. My normal lot size is 2 lots. Right. Then I'll keep on increasing. So this also confirms me whether I should hedge it or not. I'm totally against hedge. I don't hedge. Right. But that also helps you understand what to do. Right. So these patterns, we use it to confirm our theories. So our base is W and M. We're trading W and M. But if it is getting formed with help of a doji, let's say a W is getting formed, right, at this place.
All should be the same time frame, right? All the Renko as well as the.
Yeah, we are using different, no. So 1% Renko. So in 1% Renko, what will be the method? It might be somewhere like this.
Okay.
And here somewhere doji is getting formed at this place. It has not completed the entire W. But a doji is formed at the low. Right. So for Renko, what we are checking now? So we are making a trade plan. So in 1%, I'll first go to Renko 1%, P and F 0.5, P and F 0.25, 1 minute. OHLC daily. Right. All this are also daily.
Yeah.
Right. This is daily. So in Renko, what we are checking? W pattern for bullish trade. So here, bullish, bearish. So on Renko, we are looking at M pattern. So on point and figure, this we have not yet completed. On point and figure, what we are looking. But on OHLC chart, if there is a W formation, from where you will check the confirmation? In OHLC chart, what should form here?
Doji.
Doji.
Right. So there are 3 kinds of doji, right? One is either it should be perfect doji, and this is one. Second, we took that table, no? Check what are the bullish patterns.
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly
Hammer and dragonfly.
Hammer.
and hammer. ऐसे भूलने का नहीं कॉन्सेप्ट इतना 15 मिनट में ही. You have to remember this. So bearish. ठीक है. What will look? Perfect doji. What are the second pattern? We should look.
Gravestone, Gravestone.
Now M pattern. Right. What will look here? Gravestone doji.
Gravestone.
And what is second? Hanging man.
Hanging one.
And
Right.
perfect.
So if W and M are getting formed in Renko, it should also confirm with OHLC chart, right? With a doji formation, right? So that your view is clear, whether it's bullish or bearish. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Right? So we are using in conjunction. We are not using any pattern in isolation. Right? This has to be traded in conjunction. So you are taking context from Renko chart and confirming it on OHLC. Clear? So can we go to next pattern?
Sure, sir.
Any doubts?
when W is forming, it will should it give after breakout should be given that we have to check with the OHL chart after the breakout or before the breakout.
This is a
WLM pattern.
confirmation. I'll
Confirmation.
show you with example. Wait. Bata only, no? We'll check here. This is daily OHLs. This was the point. What was the date? 19th, 19th April. 19th April, 3rd May. Okay. Right. This is the place we are looking at. So this is the W pattern which got formed, right? We also discussed 3 types of W. You all remember, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Professor. Yes.
A perfect
No,
W, a bear trap W, and a higher W, right? These are the 3 types. So this is a bear trap W, right? This is a bear trap W, which got formed here. So this is 19.4, right? Now you see, is this a hanging man? A hammer,
Yes.
right? So it confirmed our trade.
Yes.
So you can wait the W to get formed because you know that from here there is a buying pressure. So this is a confirmation, but not an entry trigger for us as of now, right? When we trade on 1 minute chart, because we have not entered here, so let us keep it very clear that for us, a bullish pattern here is a confirmation, right?
By what if we consider the before candle as hanging man or gravestone?
Which, this part,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, this is a gravestone doji, right? But that's the reason we are not trading based on it. We are trading on a W pattern. We just have to see whether there is a bullish pattern, a bullish doji there in the formation or not. We are not trading on candlestick. We are trading purely on point and figure and Renko. Right. For us, this is just a confirmation that it is bullish now. Right. So your idea should be to identify whether there is a pattern in the consolidation or where the W is getting formed. Clear? Okay. So
I have a question about that OHLC chart, but I'll ask later because this will interrupt the flow. So,
yeah.
but I have a question.
On Doji pattern?
Because immediately next to Doji, we have an inverted kind of a candle. I mean, next to Doji, next to this hammer, next to the hammer, we have an inverted hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it? What are the buyers sellers doing in the second candle? I mean, is the sellers dominating, trying to dominate?
Yeah. So based on one candle, it is very difficult to trade.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the reason we are not trading on OHLC chart.
Okay.
So, but if you see the next day, the price closed here, but it opened higher.
Yeah.
That means this was a bear trap. Whoever shorted this got trapped.
Okay.
So this area is a bear trap.
Okay.
Right. So if I show it on 1 minute chart, what is this? 23.4. So our entry triggers are on 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
That is the reason. So this is the zone. This is the zone. Right. Did you see a bear trap, double bottom sell and double top buy?
Yeah.
Right. So this can be your entry trigger. So now this is your mini bottom.
Yeah.
Right. And your that doji hammer got formed at this place. Right. Hammer will only form. So hammer of OHLC. Hammer of OHLC is equal to low pole of 0.25% 1 minute chart. This is the equation.
Okay, this is quite interesting.
1 minute. We'll make a note.
Hammer of OHLC is low pole of 0.25% 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
If you want to see it on other charts, I'll open other charts also. So this concept will get clear. So I'm spending more time on doji and hammer, right? Because these are very important patterns.
Yeah.
Psychologically, they are very important. Which are other stocks? Let me check Bajaj Finance. It was also forming same pattern. Bajaj Finance, this was the date on 19/4. Right. So I'm checking the date here. This is the date. So this is 19/4. 19/4 to 16/4. 4 days. Is this 19/4? This is 19/4. Right? This candle. Right? It is getting confirmed with a hammer. Can I say this is a hammer?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right? Forming at a significant low. Hammer for us, this is a bullish pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the date? 19th. So $19.4, no?
Yes, by 16 to 19.
16 to 19. This is 19/4. Right. So this formed a bear trap. Right. So this is a bear trap. Right. But if you see it properly, this is also a low pole variation. If you know the concept of low pole, which we will cover, but if you see, the price has covered half of the price. I mean, half of this is covered, right? So this is a low pole, but it took some time to form this. But again, so again, it depends at this place. I'll share conceptually. The wick will not be 1:3 times. So what is the low? 4362. High is 4504.
It's like 1:2.
1:2. Yeah. So it has formed 1:2 kind of, but this is a hammer. 1:2. So it did not form a low pole. But if you go to a higher box value, it might have formed a low pole there. So we'll go to 0.5. This is 0.524. Check the date. It is 19/4. It has formed a low pole here. Right. So your hammer will always be a low pole formation, either on 0.25 or 0.5. But or if it's a 0.25, because these charts get plotted every 1 minute closing. Right. And Bajaj Finance is a very volatile stock. So the price will move very quickly. So it will get into column of X and O quickly. right? But that was a low pole variation, but some way you can understand if there is a big bearish anchor column, it will cover half of the price. Right? Let me show you some example of low volatile stocks. Maruti is also highly volatile.
L&T? No.
L&T has formed a W. This is the W pattern here, no? So this date was 19/4, 10/5. 19/4, 19 to 34. Mm, 19, 30, 19 and 30. So this is 19/4. This is 34, this candles, right? So in this you did not get any bullish pattern, but this was because we are not considering color of the doji, right? We didn't discuss any colors. So if you see this part, this is a hammer. This candle, right? It gave a hammer candle here, and this is a W pattern. If you see, it gave a breakout here. So before the W is getting formed, so if you on Renko charts also, this was the low, and again this formed a low, right? So if you see the higher, so whenever it is about to give a breakout in this half part, in this part, you should get a bullish pattern of any doji, right? Are you getting clear? Right, because your W will get confirmed. Your W get confirmed in this part when it breaks the neckline. So for you, this part is important because this defines whether W is there or not. So this part should have a doji pattern. Am I clear with this?
Yeah, I am.
The starting of our searches, that a W pattern likely to be formed, and we go to the OHLC to see if there are any hammers forming, and then we keep track so the context is pretty much forming, and we go to the P&F to see when we can get a nice entry. Is that the
Exactly
action plan?
Exactly the strategy. So after some time, you can predict whether it will be a W or not, right? Right now we are making it simple that you have to enter at W only. So these are some confirmatory tools. After some time, you will enter at the confirmatory tool itself before the breakout, right? But I don't want you to do it right now, right? This you do it once you gain some experience with the pattern, how it's working. Any feedback for today's session?
मजा आ गया. Honestly, बहुत मजा आया.
बहुत बढ़िया सर.
So, any feedback that you want me to change in teaching or anything?
Nothing, Professor. You are teaching very well.
Going good? Everybody is able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, speed is okay? Is it fast, slow?
It's good pace. Professor.
Good pace?
Yeah.
Okay. So even if you want me to reduce speed, increase speed, you can tell me.
No. It's
Speed
good.
is fine.
Pretty fine.
Okay.